I grew up in an era when television was called the vast wasteland. Some of you who are older might remember that. I think it's still true, but in that vast wasteland, I think there's some really good programs. And even though I know I'm aging myself, among some of my favorites are the original Twilight Zone with Rod Stewart. Rod Sterling. A friend of mine is a writer for the Tribune, and he said if you listen to that, the language is phenomenal, and the storylines are really provocative. The other one is Alfred Hitchcock. When he da-da-da-da-dum-ba-bum. But anyway, I was watching it last night because I had a little bit of insomnia, Alfred Hitchcock. And the story was about a young couple who moved into their first home in a nice suburban neighborhood. He was, working for a company where he is about to get a promotion, and they were looking forward to everything. Except there was a young boy next door who turned out to be what they thought was a terrorist. He had that smile on his face. Oh, everything is wonderful. But there was something wrong mentally with the young lad, and he began to threaten them. In fact, he killed their dog, and he attempted to kill her, the wife. And the young man, the husband, was really very frustrated about it, and like, what's going wrong? Of course, he confronted the parents, and the father says, "Oh no, my son doesn't do that. My son told me. In fact, you're the one who disciplined him, and you had no business doing that." Well, in this day and age, you can't do that anymore. But it was like the father was in total denial, and the child knew that. And the more he heard his father defending his wrong, the worse he got. Until there was a disaster, and the father realized that his son really was mentally ill. But the man whose dog he killed, and the woman and the wife whom he tried to kill, the man saw that there was something wrong with that young boy. And he embraced the child and said, "You will now get the help you need." Because the police were there, and there was all kinds of things. There was a reason, and they knew that he had tried to burn down the garage. And they said, "You know what? You're not a bad boy. You're ill. You need treatment. You need to be taken care of." And the man turned to the father and said, "You're a good father. You really tried to do your best." He was just, he realized that he was just blindsided by his son. And I think that goes very well with the gospel. Sometimes we'll look at people and say, "You're not good. You're no good. You're bad. What are you doing?" And we fail to see the other side of the issue. Now, I'm not denying that there are some evil people in the world, but it was really eye-opening. I said, oh my God, there's my homily for tomorrow morning, that sometimes we rush to judgment and we don't know the whole story. And when we find out that there's other factors involved, we can change. And I think when we come to judging our brothers or sisters, that we should be very careful about how we do that. Let's not judge at all. Let's try to look at the other side. And if somebody needs help, maybe we need to say something. The man had the courage to say, "Your son needs help." But it was until the son tried to burn down the garage that the father realized that there was really something mentally wrong with his son, so that he could get the help he has. So, as we go through life, when we look at something, sometimes we will rush to judgment and make a determination about that person or that event. But we should always step back and see what the real issue is. And, if necessary, get the person the help they need. Or, as the gospel said, fraternal correction. You need help. And if the person doesn't listen, at least we've tried. but we should not judge.